Happy Friday, everybody. Cameron here from Community Boost. Thanks for tuning back in to the Friday 5. This is episode 006. So welcome. Thank you for giving us your time before you dive into happy hour, to your weekend plans. We're really excited to answer some, marketing challenges for all our nonprofit leaders out there. If you're new to the show, what is this show? We run a digital marketing for nonprofits Facebook group. So check it out on Facebook if you haven't. When new members join, we ask, what is your biggest marketing challenge? In this show, we set a timer for 5 minutes. We answer as many of those marketing challenges as we can, and hopefully provide some solutions, or at least accelerate you into finding the answers you're looking for. So without further ado, let's dive in. Before, the last thing is subscribe if you haven't, so you don't miss our future content. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group, be sure to join it. Again, it's Digital Marketing for Nonprofits. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to set the timer and answer as many questions as I can. So first up is actually two different people from the same organization, from crew.org. So Jeff, Mike, thank you for your input. Both of your questions are really similar. Jeff asks, says our biggest challenge is growing interaction and conversions with Facebook ads promoting giving opportunities. And Mike says getting high conversions on Facebook ad campaigns. Great question. It's awesome that you guys are even really, continuing to test Facebook and Instagram ads. Incredibly bullish on the platform. It's going to produce. It just comes down to figuring out your targeting, figuring out your creative, and lowest hanging fruit often for our nonprofit partners is lookalike audiences. So leveraging an upload of custom audiences like past donors, like past customers, and then building lookalikes off of that, and putting additional filters on that. You might already be testing that. I would really just continue to push on your targeting, push on your creative. You just can't be vanilla. There's also times where we'll run campaigns where we'll really build up the social credibility of certain, posts, and then we're, really amplifying those for acquisition on the platform. That can work really well. So I would just continue to push your creative, always asking, how can this creative be as, personal to this particular segment we're targeting as possible, and not just a general ad creative. But we love this stuff. Feel free to reach out too if you want even feedback on your creative. I will personally give it to you, post it in the group, and we'll give you some feedback. All right, next is from Erin from Mercy Home for Boys and Girls. Her biggest challenge is reporting in a meaningful, timely, and actionable way. Erin, I love how you're thinking, right? We can't improve what we're not measuring. I say that a lot, and Peter Drucker came up with it originally, but we hammer that home here at Community Boost. But I recommend trying to move into a live dashboard experience. Google has some free great tools called Data Studio Reporting. That can be really beneficial. And then you can look at other tools like Report Garden or Raven tools. They all have different pricings. But even in just Google Analytics alone, creating certain dashboards there can be really beneficial. But I really like Google Data Studio Report if you're just getting started, if you're really just reporting on analytics or analytics e-commerce data, because it allows you to kind of have a page that's just for main KPIs. You can share with your higher ups, your board, and then you can have different pages, different sections that drill into the details that you want to check out for, kind of that more on-the-ground optimization work that you might be doing. Cool. All right, next question is from another Erin from the Rhode Island Zoological Society. Her biggest challenge at their organization is still learning to use digital marketing for donors. Learning is why I love digital. It's always changing. The landscape is always changing. And I just recommend really becoming excited and ongoing student of the space. So there's so many great podcasts that you can, taste for free. See if you like them, subscribe if you do. Audiobooks can be excellent. E-trainings. There's a lot of great niche Facebook groups like ours, like other ones that are, can be really powerful, and just really paying attention to where is people's attention at? You know, my donor, where is their attention at? What platforms are they on? And just not being afraid to fail, trying new things. And that's really how you just get good at digital marketing, is just continue to be a practitioner, to roll up your sleeves, try and learn how these platforms work. And in time, you'll get there. And just study like what the best nonprofits are doing and kind of just reverse engineer, okay, how are they doing that? How can we do a leaner version of that? What do I like about that? And how does our brand, you know, kind of find its own voice? All right, next is from Katie from CLS. She says her biggest challenge is having a coherent, long view strategy instead of putting out fires all the time. Whew, Katie, I feel that. And with working with a lot of nonprofits, you know, I don't think you're alone. But it just takes some time. You know, at times I have a belief that, you know, meetings can feel toxic, and yet being, you know, having a strong intention and setting strategy and getting people aligned is crucial. So whether you call that, okay, here's our annual, you know, plan and let's set some quarterly roadmaps, or however you approach that milestone setting, it's just really important to do. I really like this book called Measure What Matters. They talk a lot about OKRs, or what are your objectives and what are your key results. You know, qualitatively, what are you reaching for, and what are the key results that are measurable, that are quantifiable to get there. So there's all sorts of ways to approach the strategic planning process. You just got to find what fits for your organization and then just continue to fine tune it. But some sort of goal setting is just necessary, because that allows you to say, okay, these are our rocks, these are our must-dos, and to not get so caught up in all the little pebbles and being reactive with all the crap that can hit your to-do list. I'm going to take one more. Let's do it. I have one more from Claire, going over time, but from Our Hope Association. She says, biggest challenge is reaching younger donors through online giving. And as a development coordinator, I feel you, and I understand, Claire, where you're coming from. But you know, this younger, being one of the older millennials around, I get that this is a generation that does want to give, but we don't always have the financials, you know, the bank accounts, the savings to do so in a very meaningful way. So as supporters, right, there's really three ways we can give to an organization. We can give our time, we can give our talent, or we can give our treasure, our cash, right? So time, talent, or treasure. And often having a volunteer experience or actually fundraising, if you are running peer-to-peer fundraising, that is a tremendous way to first engage a younger audience, right? When they raise $250 for you, or they raise $1,000 for you, you became honestly like one of their favorite organizations, and they're going to remember you, and they're going to continue to give over time. So almost think of that younger stewardship journey as a ladder, and they're just kind of working way up, right? So get to an event, enroll, have them volunteer. Great, maybe we can run a peer-to-peer campaign. Okay, cool. Now you're actually earning. You got your first, 3 years of your career under your belt. Have you thought about a recurring gift? So just think about that donor ladder per segment, per younger audience. Their attention is online, as you know. Social media works for younger audiences, but you have to be able to share that story. But once they're willing to invest their time, you just got to also be making the ask. All right, so that is episode 006. I hope that was valuable for you all. Thanks again. Subscribe if you haven't. Post in our Digital Marketing for Nonprofits Facebook group if you aren't. If you're sitting there, pulling out your hair with a question or needing some answers, or just want to vent about digital marketing for nonprofits, post in our Facebook group. Let's increase engagement. We'll see you next week.